Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a little sort of news and update video, giving you guys a little bit of an update what's going on in and around the Molineux this week. Wanted to try and get away from just the match previews and reviews and so on. And of course, it was a little bit of a downer this weekend for all. So I wanted to try and get some more upbeat news and, get everything back on top. I'm joined alongside Mr. Matt Cooper. Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, not bad, mate. It's becoming a bit more of a regular occurrence, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know, people start talking.
That's it. So, we've got a few topics that we're going to touch on. Obviously, that you've seen some of those in the title of the video. We're going to start off with one that was in the Daily Mail this morning. Well, it was late last night, really, about Morgan Gibbs-White. Apparently, he's on the watch list of Mr. Gareth Southgate for the England squad, Matt. Obviously, I'd assume Gareth would have seen him in his youth days. Morgan, obviously, still is in his youth days. He's not quite broke the under-21 team yet, though. So this is quite, surprising news as such, really.
Yeah, I think it's just what Southgate's doing, like the inclusion of people like Mason Mount, who shouldn't be anywhere near the England team. He's just stockpiling talent.
That's it.
I don't blame him for doing it. Can Morgan play for any other nation? I'd probably imagine so.
Potentially. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
But that may be another reason.
Yeah.
As try and get him involved as quickly as he can. So he's locked into playing for England. I don't know. He's not good enough at the minute.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, yeah, it says that...
He's going to be a cracking player, but no, not at the minute.
Well, it said on the article about, obviously, Southgate wanting him to get more Premier League minutes before he's selected for the squad. But why are players like Mason Mount getting called? Have you said the same about Connor Cody last year as well, didn't he? Obviously, Connor Cody's got to be in the Premier League. I think that was probably a bit more serious because it was for a World Cup squad rather than sort of international friendlies and so on. But obviously, he's saying this about Morgan. Does Morgan have every right of a shout on the same level as Mason Mount has a shout? Or do you think Mount, because he's getting lots of first team minutes, deserves more of a shout?
Mason Mount's in that team because he plays for Chelsea.
Yeah.
No other explanation.
Yeah.
And he's with Lampard, and obviously Lampard and Southgate know each other.
Yeah.
If he was playing for Brentford and he'd come through the ranks at Brentford, say for example, wasn't on loan from a top 4 club, then we wouldn't even be having this discussion. Yeah. It's embarrassing. I've lost a lot of I lost a lot of respect for Southgate when I found out Mount had been included.
Yeah.
Why is it Will Hughes in there over Mason Mount? Like, Will Hughes is twice the player. Mason Mount is underperforming week in, week out for Watford. I mean, he's class against us Saturday. So, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But, I mean, it can only be a good thing for Morgan. He seems quite level-headed. I hope he doesn't go to his head and he, loses him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've seen the talent from him. Little spells this season. Had a little bit of a run in the team last season. Obviously, for him, it's going to be very difficult to get in the team ahead of Neves and Moutinho on paper. Could see him in the attacking three, perhaps, but it'll be very interesting to see if Nuno starts giving him some more minutes. It's a shame we got knocked out of the League Cup so early, to be honest, because obviously I would have imagined he would have been one of the first names on that team sheet for the Cup. But yeah, so that's Morgan in England, so it'll be very interesting to keep our eye on that one. As I say, I'd assume he's going to be getting his under-21 call-up with Adi Boothroyd, excuse me, before he gets to the first team. We are going to be touching on a couple of transfer rumours. Now, over the last few weeks, there's been the odd transfer rumour, nothing too concrete, but there was one this weekend from The Sun. Now, everyone obviously sort of pulls a face when you mention The Sun, but I do remember in the summer they broke a few Wolves exclusives before anyone else, to be honest. The main one being the Afobe to Stoke deal. No one believed that, and obviously that went through a few days after that got reported. But this weekend they've reported that Wolves are looking at Adam Reach from Sheffield Wednesday. Very, very interesting one. Not one that you've probably penned Wolves together with. They did try to sign him a couple of years ago, but the money obviously put Wolves off a little bit. Matt, I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not 100% sure of Adam Reach. I've seen a couple of his bangers this season, but what are your thoughts on this rumour?
He scores a fair few screamers, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
But so do I on Sunday, and I haven't got the call up yet. I just think it's typical paper talk, right? Who's performing well in the Championship? Let's link him to a newly promoted club.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably went after him when we were playing George Savile on the left.
I think it probably was in the Lambert days.
Exactly. We've come a long way since then. And I know Sheffield Wednesday fans have him in hold him in high esteem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's obviously doing well. But for what we need, he's not good enough.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, with the quality that we've got at the moment, I don't think he's going to improve on the quality. Perhaps as a bench option, but I don't think he'd leave his current club to do that. Well, he may do, but I can't see it being an option for Wolves at all, to be honest. It'd be very, very surprising if we did go for him. But it was a rumour nonetheless, one that we've obviously seen, we reported on. A few comments about it, but I think mainly that Wolves fans, no nasty comments about him as a player, just thought he's not really good enough, I don't think.
He's not good enough.
No.
No.
And he's not Portuguese, were a few comments, obviously.
Obviously, he obviously doesn't fall into our transfer policy of being Portuguese or
that's it,
or a men's client.
That's it. Moving on though, we do have a little bit of news from the most recent fans parliament. So the Wolves fans parliament is basically a group of fans that get together. I don't know if it's on a monthly basis or a few weekly basis, and just touching on all matters that are to do with Wolves. Normally get a few directors in there. I know Jeff Shee's gone to one or two. Laurie Dalrymple's there quite often. And one of the topics was Mr. Leander Dendoncker. Obviously, Wolves spent a fair chunk on him in the summer. Belgian international, was in the World Cup squad, made appearances in the World Cup, but for some reason can't get a sniff in the current Wolves team in the league. He's played a couple of cup appearances where he's looked okay, but why is he not even getting on the bench for Wolves? Matt, you read the minutes for this one. Basically, if you want to give everyone the lowdown of what basically was said with Dendoncker.
Yeah, basically the bulk of it is that he was signed predominantly as a player for the future, or a future investment, I think the term was used. And with an investment, it obviously has connotations of the player being sold.
Yeah.
But I think it was Dalrymple who said that because the team had played so well initially and players have been undroppable, he hasn't had his chance. And I think he's looked all right. I mean, I went to the game against Leicester in the Cup. He looked okay. I think he's struggling with the formation. But yeah, they say he's a player for the future. I don't buy into that whatsoever. I think he's unhappy in England, which I know reports coming out of Belgium would suggest that's the case too. He didn't want to go to Palace or Wolves, what the report says. Yeah, so I don't know, it's a weird one though, considering he's, already an Anderlecht legend and a full international for Belgium. We're one of the top sides in the world. He can't get into our team, and he's not even on the bench. I mean, you look at, somebody can play in the middle. We needed a bit of steel in the middle Saturday. He could have gone in there and maybe done a better job than Moutinho or Neves, because I got bullied, but he wasn't even on the bench. So it is a bit of a strange one, and that term investment again does imply that they will moving on. And I know that you do with every player, but I think it's a term that it's a bit strange.
Obviously, we know that Nuno's the head coach and he's not going to get 100% say on some of the transfers. We've seen that over the last year or so anyway, ever since Fosun came in. Do you think this one is just someone that doesn't suit how Nuno plays, although us as fans can probably see that? Or is it just the fact that maybe he's not fit, or as you say, isn't settled in England at all?
I don't know how he can struggle with his fitness, but then play 90 minutes against Sheffield Wednesday and then play 90 minutes for Belgium. So I don't think the fitness is the problem. Yeah. One thing I will say is against Leicester, he seems to struggle with playing in that system. I know Belgium do play similarly.
Do you think he'd be more suited either as a central midfielder or on the centre of a back three rather than the right hand side of a back three?
I'd probably say he was definitely more suited to the sweeper role, more so than the central midfield role. But Cody's got that nailed down. And I don't know what his distribution's like. I've not seen enough of him. And with that role, you need someone who can pass the ball out, then diagonals over the opposing fullback. As
a central midfielder, you probably hope he's passing his... Well, he was a central midfielder. You're probably hoping that his passing is slightly better anyway. Yeah. But it'll be very, very interesting to see how that one develops. As we know, he's on loan until the end of the season, but Wolves have got the obligation to buy. Basically, it's going to go through during the summer. So it'll be interesting to see whether Wolves, as you say, is an investment. He's going to become a first teamer next year, or what quite is going to happen. But hopefully we do see him get a run of league games, obviously around the Christmas period where it's a little bit busier. We might see that happen as well.
Yeah, can we just, while we're talking about transfers, can we touch on the rumours about Rafa, please?
Rafa, yeah, we'll talk about that one as well. Of course, Rafa loaned out this summer. Had an okay start to pre-season, didn't he? He was okay. There were rumours early on that Bolton wanted him and he rejected that. There was early rumours about Las Palmas before he even went there, which he rejected. But then it sort of went through quite quickly. and he's started off quite well. Not just at Las Palmas, but Spain under-21s as well. He's been firing in. I think it's about 5 goals in 4 games. He's only started once for the under-21s as well. He's on fire at the moment. But all of a sudden, there are rumours that some fairly big Spanish teams are after him.
I can't believe this.
Who was it now? There was Sevilla,
Villarreal, Sociedad.
Yeah, and Villarreal was it? I think. Villarreal for about €8 million was the rumour.
Honestly,
fee.
if that's the fee, I'll meet him at Terminal 1 at Birmingham. I'll help him pack his house.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. €8 million for Rafa.
Yeah,
Jesus, what am I worth?
Yeah, as I say, he started off well in Spain. You can see that sometimes where players go to different leagues or different nations and excel a lot better. He was obviously very, very highly rated in Spain. Being 100% honest, I don't think he got a massive opportunity at Wolves. Obviously, we saw little cameos of him where he didn't really impress, but he's gone straight back over to Spain and he's done quite well. So
I think giving him the number 9 shirt didn't help him.
Yeah. And his little Wolves are we on his little
Wolves are we.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You probably didn't understand a word what he was saying there.
No, of course he didn't. It's probably I don't think I would do.
But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that one goes. I'd imagine Wolves could recall him in January if they wanted to. But
no, Dave, in the Parliament minutes, just a correction. Yeah, and they said no, they're going to let it run.
That's
the full season.
That's good.
Which I think is the right thing to do.
There are a lot. There are some managers that they'll want to honour that contract that they gave to Las Palmas.
Hopefully, we can swap Bonatini though, if that's the case. So he can get to Las Palmas.
And finally, Matt, we probably don't need to touch on this as such, but obviously Wolves, since that defeat on Saturday, there's been plenty of fans talking on social media about whether Nuno should change the lineup against Brighton. Now, of course, the game that Wolves just had against Watford, straight after an international break, straight after Raul Jimenez getting all them air minutes and starting again straight away, and he wasn't bad, but he didn't really get involved in the game. And there was, I think 10 of the first team squad overall got called up for the international break. Not just those guys in the starting 11, but guys on the bench and so on as well. But Matt, is it okay for fans to sort of talk about this, or should we just leave everything to Nuno because he's the god?
No, I mean, it's healthy to discuss it, and football is about opinions.
Yep.
And as much as I do trust Nuno, I feel like he was naive not to make any changes. I don't think he'll be as naive against Brighton.
Yep.
I think we'll see Cavaleiro come in. I don't think Adama's tactically aware enough or disciplined to start.
I agree.
And I think we may see Vinagre play because Johnny had a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
But saying that with Johnny, I read today that I think we've got an option to buy him in the summer as well, which is good. Yeah, I really like Johnny, apart from the half against Watford. Yeah. But yeah, they're the only 2 players I'd change. I think Jimenez will be well rested. Costa looked all right. Jota's stuck a shade of the man he was last season.
It's very strange.
It's a shame, really.
You'd be disappointed. I know we spoke about it. You'd be disappointed if we'd signed him this summer and we hadn't seen him last year, and you'd be thinking, what have we done here? What have we wasted this money on? But we know there's quality there in Jota. Hopefully we'll see it soon enough. I think I agree with you with a couple of changes there. Cav probably in for Jota. Vinagre, he looked okay, didn't he, when he come off the bench? He just had something. He just had something different, and he's threatening going forward. And I think that's what we need, and we know his quality there. I actually saw someone put a comparison to him to someone like Gareth Bale when he was a lot younger, starting as a left back and actually coming to end up being one of the most successful wingers in the world. Really,
well, I think primarily his position is like left midfield,
left wing. Yeah.
I know he's played there before, but he did a job against Watford and better offensively than defensively, but he gives us something a little more than Johnny does. Johnny's brilliant one-on-one defensively, but Vinagre's always got that little trick up his sleeve, and he's always got the beating of his man. He's exciting to watch, and he's going to be a real good prospect in the future. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we'll talk more about that on the preview for the game against Brighton. That'll be in later this week. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed it today. Please let us know in the comment section all your thoughts on the topics discussed. So obviously Morgan for England, Adam Reach potentially signing, Dendoncker, Rafa, and obviously if you feel that Nuno has to change anything this weekend. Make sure you hit that like button if if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. All our social links are in the description down below. You can find mine and Matt's Twitters just below our names here, or below our cams rather. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all very soon.